Jai Jagannath and Namaskar. Welcome to YouTube channel Divine Sri Kshetra. Today we'll come to know how Sri Jagannath temple was being known as White Pagoda once upon a time. In fact, from mid 17th century onwards, when European seafarers used to move by east coast, they were able to see two major landmarks. One is Sri Jagannath Temple Puri, which was covered with lime, so it was looking white, so it was being called White Pagoda, and Konark Temple, which had collapsed in 17th century, and it was having a lot of mosses and fungus, etc. So it was looking completely black without any maintenance. So it was being called Black Pagoda. I'll give some background about the construction of the temple and how why it was plastered with lime. As all of you know, Sri Jagannath Temple Puri, which was constructed during 12th century AD, was basically a gravity structure. The stones have been kept one over the other without any cementing material, and iron clamps were used to bind the stones with each other so that they work as one unit and they don't dislodge. So large number of iron clamps were used, and the location of this temple being very close to sea, there was sea wind always blowing into the temple, and because of the saline effect, there are a lot of damage to the stones in due course. And this temple has been constructed as a three-storied structure. I have already mentioned in the last episode. And the height of the temple was 214 feet. This is one of the biggest temples which was attempted by Kalingan temple architects during that time. And being such a huge temple with such a big height, it was extremely difficult for subsequent kings and others to maintain the temple, because you have to have scaffoldings right up to the top on regular intervals to maintain the temple. So first 500 years up to 17th century, mid 17th century, there was not much problem, but subsequently regularly there was seepage of water through the openings between the stones, and due to severe saline effect, the iron dowels and the clamps got rusted, and because of oxidation their volume increased and they started pushing the stones out, and the water which seeped inside also, because of alternate heating and cooling, they had a water pressure also from inside. This led to displacement of the stones, and there was frequent stone falling during that period, mostly on the south side of the temple, because that side was facing the sea and the wind effect was much more in that side. But since it is a living temple and it was one of the 4 dhams, and lakhs of pilgrims every year used to come from all over the country, during that time all the Gajapati kings, because they were themselves working as administrators or directly managing the temples, as well as they were the servitors in the temple. They were having seva in the temple. So this is unique in Odisha. All the Odisha kings, they constructed the temple, and after that successively, even if the dynasties have changed, they have directly managed the temple, directly maintained the account of the temple, maintained the jewelry and everything, all the properties of the temple, and also they worked as sevaks or seva. They have seva in the temple till now. So they cannot neglect the temple. So all the kings in the past, they have tried their best to protect this temple by any means. So during that time, in 17th century, there was no modern technology and all that. So the best conservation strategy which was available during that time was to cover the entire temple with lime plaster so that they can save it from the saline effect, because that was, they knew that that is affecting the stones, and stones are getting eroded and the iron clamps are getting corroded because of that effect. So they plastered it continuously in several phases. Each plastering takes at least 2 to 3 years time to cover such a huge temple. And as all of you know, lime was also cheaply available in Puri because of availability of a huge quantity of sea shells. From sea shells they produced lime. And the Chunara sevaks, we have sevaks in Puri temple because they used to do plastering or whitewashing, so they are called Chunara sevaks. Those who tied the flags every day, they are Chunara sevaks. So from Chuna, their name is Chunara. Their Seba's name is Chunara Seba. So they were mainly the people who have done the whitewashing in the past centuries. And during deplastering, it was found that 7 distinct layers of plastering has been done. So the plastering of the temple for the first time started in 1636, between 1636 to 38, and there were 9 distinct layers which made up to 1.5 feet thick lime plaster over the temple, and the entire temple complex, even the smaller temples like Mahalakshmi temple, Ma Bimala temple, and all other small temples were also covered with lime plaster. So mid 17th century onwards, when the European ships move on east coast for 300 years, they could see 2 landmarks, as I have already said, very close to sea. I don't think there is any other landmark in the entire east or west coast so close to sea to act as a guiding tower or a landmark for the ships. And Konark temple had already collapsed by that time, and the Mukhasala or the Jagamohan, whatever is existing, was looking completely black, so it was called Black Pagoda. And Puri temple, Sri Jagannath temple, was called White Pagoda by the Europeans who were moving by sea during that time. So during 1972-73, there was profuse leaking from the main temple, and the lime plaster, which was very thick, it became spongy and absorbed huge quantity of water. The weight of the lime plaster became huge, and it exerted a lot of pressure on the main temple, and continuously stones started falling from inside the temple and also from outside. So state government during that time decided to hand over the maintenance of the temple to Archaeological Survey of India. Before that, state PWD department was maintaining it, and in 1975 it was declared as a monument of national importance, and a technical committee was formed by Archaeological Survey of India, who decided to remove the plaster from the entire temple to know actually what is the state of the stones and the structures below. Because for 300 years nobody had seen what is inside. It was looking like a completely plain white temple without any sculpture, without any statues being visible. So they wanted to remove the plaster so that they can see the condition of the temple inside. And unfortunately, there were many court cases, and Sebaks and so many other people, they challenged this decision to deplaster it, apprehending that the temple will collapse if they remove the lime plaster. So for more than I think 7-8 years the cases continued, and in 1986 ultimately Honorable Supreme Court decided in favor of removing the lime plaster, and the work started from 1986 onwards, and it was completed in 1996. So for more than 300 years, it was a plain white structure concealing the beautiful statues and stone carvings till 1980s, when the plastering works was taken up. So many of you who might have visited the temple before 1985-86, you might have seen the temple, the white pagoda, or a plain white structure without any intricate stone carvings which are visible now. So we are fortunate to have seen the beautiful stone carvings during our lifetime and the temple architecture, because this temple is one of the best model of Kalingan architecture. So the deplastering work, which took almost 20 years to complete, it was completed in 1996, and detailed renovation and restoration of the temple has been done by shifting the deities temporarily from the sanctum sanctorum. The two major stones fell. Stone falling took place in 1990 and 1992. In fact, in 1992, 1 ton weight stones, they fell inside the sanctum sanctorum in front of the Ratna Singhasan. After that, the detailed work has been done, detailed repair work and maintenance work inside the Garbhagriha, inside the 3 chambers, and outside also has been done right up to the Kalasa and Nilachakra level. So through this channel and with my personal experience of working in the temple for a long period, I hope I have been able to provide this important historical information about Sri Jagannath Temple, Puri, as to why it was being called White Pagoda in the past. In the next episode, I would like to discuss about the Nilachakra, Patita Pavana Bana, or the flag, and the significance of it. With this, I conclude today. Jai Jagannath. Namaskar.